Welcome to the Quota podcast. I'm Dylan Fole.
And I'm Gavin Malcolm. And tonight we have an awesome guest. His name is Andrew Burgos. He's been a good buddy of mine for a long time. And you guys are really going to enjoy this. This guy is the definition of being passionate. And this guy has a huge heart and some really wonderful stories. Hope you guys enjoy.
Hi. Welcome to today's podcast.
Well, dude.
Yeah,
Andrew, thanks for
perfect.
being here.
Thank you for inviting me. This is definitely interesting.
Yeah, this guy came in real clutch. We love Andrew Burgos. He has been a good buddy of ours for a couple years now. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Wow. 32 years old. I look about, 26, right?
You look 12. What are you doing to keep your skin so tight?
The lotion every
Yeah.
day, all day. Just got to keep up on the cocoa butter. It's a secret. That's a secret.
Write that down.
But I've traveled a lot in my days. I'm a mental health technician. I used to fix aircraft, but changed jobs, and before that, work in retail. So it's nice variety. Went to school for a little bit. Wanted to be a music teacher, and then sex, drugs, rock and roll. It just didn't work out. No, it just
No rock and roll.
Wait,
No,
was
no
there
rock and roll.
Was there too much or not enough of all of the above?
just definitely lost focus. Because you go all throughout school, you go to high school and stuff, you get to college, it's like, oh, I'm just going through the motions. I knew what I wanted to do, found it, but by that time I was just burnt out. So
Yeah.
it was like, okay, so at least I can do something that'll help me in my future. So
There you
that's
go.
when I picked up a good job.
That's what's up. Heck yeah. For the record, I think I can literally picture you as the perfect middle school music teacher. You're in a carpet gymnasium.
I don't know if this is a compliment.
I don't know.
Unfortunately.
Ooh.
I think he's cooler than a music teacher.
Dude, the music teacher's hands down the coolest person at the school.
Compared to the shop teacher?
Well, the
No, my
history
school-
teacher, hands down.
No.
What?
No, because the history
Who
teacher
likes their history teacher?
is the smartest teacher.
Yeah, but the boringest. I'm
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I feel like the music teacher is the one who's got real stories about life versus all the other teachers are yeah, I went to a language arts major in college. Now I'm here. It's what happened in between there versus a music teacher's yeah, so there I am roading for the I don't know, Black Sabbath, and then you have a weird story that just comes out of nowhere and you're like, whoa, Mr. Burgos, what was that? And it's just oh. Whoops.
It's funny you should mention that. I actually had this English teacher. He knew how to work a switchblade. He's like, yeah, I ride motorcycles. I rock climb. I go on these walkabouts, and all the girls were swooning over this guy. And I was like,
Yeah.
who are you, man? Who are you? I want to be you. Changed my major right then and there. I was just like, I now want to be a language arts teacher.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So, obviously, it sounds like you do a lot of different things. You've had a lot of different passions. What are some of the things that you're real passionate about, right now in the current couple months?
Right now, oh man, music has always been a huge thing in my life. That's the heartbeat. I don't know, it's your soul. It's what moves you from one moment to the other, right?
Yeah.
So making music has been it's been a dream to be able to do that. Nothing professional, anything like that, but just the art of creating. I don't know. I just feel like you really get to know people better whenever you make music with them. And then all your insecurities come out and you make mistakes, but those mistakes are the best kind. You're like, what did you just do? I don't know. It just happened. Do it again.
I blacked out. I
Do
don't
it
remember.
again. I was just slapping the bass.
I slap the bass. That's awesome. So, what kind of music do you usually stick to? Is there anything in general, or do you just kind of play all of it?
Ooh, I don't like labels. No, it's just no. I think dance, indie pop type thing, because playing on the guitar always has this indie feel. But if I'm on the keys or something like that, then it's a dancey feel with the indie vibe. So you're like, okay. And sometimes, you just might mess around. You're like, oh, this is funky. Okay, all right. And it really depends on who I collaborate with, because I take their advice, like who they are, kind of put that into the song too. Rochelle.
Yeah.
Some songs I collab with her, and it just immediately changes the song because her voice is just so powerful. I'm just like, yes, keep going. I'll do whatever you want. We're not worthy. So it works out really well. Really well.
That's awesome.
So would you ever be in a band, or do you have a band that would like perform, or do you like performing?
So despite my normal, like, I don't know who I am normally, like stage fright, I'm a people person, but like I do not like the limelight. So would I ever perform in a band? Yeah, sure. I will record it all day. Whatever, perform live in front of people. I don't think I'm that good. Going back to the mistakes and stuff, like I'm sure with enough practice and everything, but there's definitely fear there.
Seems like a great thing to go try then. Get over it.
Right.
It's like
When's your next
perfect.
gig?
Guess what we're doing today?
Yeah, exactly.
Psych, the wall
Surprise.
lifts up. It's just an auditorium.
Damn, I wish we had that
Yeah.
capability.
One day. I'm a dreamer.
Freestyle right now. A boonch, boonch, ooncha, ooncha. 2 bars. That's all you get out of me.
Bores.
Yeah, if there's one talent I wish I could have, it would be making music.
That's something I'd
mean-
love to have.
It is just putting in a lot of time, right?
So, some of the songs, yes, a lot of time because, playing it is one thing, then editing is a whole nother beast. I'm still learning how to edit songs because, no matter what you do, if you don't know how to edit songs, your songs are gonna, I don't want to say come out like trash, but like it'll sound like a garage band. But like,
Dude, that's what the entire early 2000s was. Like,
I'd like to go back. I'm like, this is my element. This is what I can do. A garage band. Hell, I use it in Mac. A garage band right now. But if you don't know how to edit your songs, or like, oh yeah, put a fade on this, drop this level here, harmonize this way, and then let's edit this and blah blah. It just, I don't know. It just doesn't have the same effect because you can take any top 40 songs and you're just like, that is awesome, and it's just really production. Of the piece, because
you have to be big enough, and then you just like do your thing for 5 minutes singing this mic, and then you just send it off. Yeah.
Ooh, run that track.
yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
I want to be the background guy. I was listening to 50 Cent the other day because I'm a G, and there's one lyric in the song where it's like, I've been hit with a few shells, but I ain't walk with a limp. And then there's just some dude in the background that just goes, I might. That's who I want to be. It's just, I've never heard that part of the song. I think I heard some comedian like make a joke about it, and then it just stood out to me this last time. It just came on shuffle on my Spotify, and I was like, that guy's the best. That guy gets a residual check for just going, I might, into the microphone.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Dude,
if you write the song, you get a residual check, but I don't know if you say one thing on it.
You get to be, like, you have legal rights to be, like, part of the collaborative, creative effort, ownership of a song if you're in the booth whatsoever. Like, even if you're in the mixing booth, it's pretty wild.
I think that just comes down to contract, really. Like,
Yeah.
Are we going to actually give you money? I don't know. Sign this dotted line that says you get nothing.
Well, I would
because
do it for nothing.
yeah,
I've not earned
Sometimes it's the
anything.
experience of it, yeah.
50 Cent is a little bit too smart to be letting randos.
I'm all right.
It's his boy.
It was
My
probably one of
boy.
his buddies.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'll give you like the world's smallest residual check. Why not, dude? Like, trying to get my boy
I'll give
out
you
of the hood.
50 cents per
Oh, that'd be so great. 50.
No,
Dude,
50 cents per play.
That'd be
That's a
huge.
lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody makes that.
No.
Oh, that'd be-
But so circling back, what I hear is that you want to be a hype man.
oh, I'd be so good at that. That'd be.
I think Gavin he has that.
You
that
are
he-
the hype
he
man
is the
in
hype man.
life. You know,
Yes.
we just need to put you on a track.
Oh, that'd be Technically, I do have a recorded vinyl.
There you
that
go.
me and our buddy Sam, who's also done the podcast, we recorded a vinyl like freestyle session at the Denver MCA. We heard about it, and it's like 0 degrees outside, and we're both trying to like rap into the app Rap Chat. It's like Snapchat, but rapping. It's so stupid. It's so fun. And we're out there like just spitting bores. And
Bores.
And then we walk in, and it's just people taking it so serious. Like people who have just their entire life is music. They're devoted to it. And then Sam and I walk up, look at the band, and we're like, just throw something in like a C major. And then just like the band just plays whatever. And then we just went and just like freestyled on the beat for like 3 minutes. It is the funniest thing because you can hear us like trying not to laugh. And like at the end, it's even funnier because it wasn't horrible. By no means was it good, but like we should have just gone up there and just like, and you just like get into the rhythm, and people were coming up like, that was awesome. How long have you guys been practicing that? And like, how long have you guys been making music? And we're like, I don't know, like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so how long was
They're
that?
like, that was awesome. Like, when did you write that? And we're like, I don't know. You heard it for the first time, and we did.
I gotta ask you a question. So when you walked in there, did you know the key, or were you just like, you know what?
Nope.
You
No,
just like,
we just knew that C major was. We just knew that was a key.
so you're just like, let's act like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw some BS around.
That's not entirely accurate. Sam does know what he's doing.
Sam knows music, yeah, but
Sam is
I
brilliant.
learned just enough guitar in high school so I could get with a chick. And then
I think that's how we all start.
Once I learned Wonderwall, I gave up. I was like, I've got all I need right here to get past a first date. We're good to go. If someone passes me a guitar at a party, I've got GCD all day long.
Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
So that's why the guitar is still in our front
I
room
just
to this day.
that is true. I just also sometimes like other people come over and play, which I enjoy. But I did actually pick it
That's
up.
literally never happened.
Yeah, Sam Andrew's done it
Once,
multiple
maybe twice.
times. I just picked it up actually, not kidding, less than a couple days ago.
To
True
play
story.
Wonderwall?
No, I'm trying to learn an Avril Lavigne song because I'm
Oh.
the best.
Taking it back.
Dude, yeah.
She just dropped a new album last week.
I know, it's incredible.
Didn't listen. I listened to her the song with Nicki Minaj, and it was
I heard one song, and I think she was like, I don't know, like on a beach or something. There was wind, and she had like
Is it the...
clothing that's just draping in
Yeah,
the wind.
I know which one you're talking
Like
about.
it was so crazy because she was like Avril, goth skater chick type of girl. You're like, ooh, and then to
And then
this,
like a punk, like pop chick where you're like, yeah, I like that you're
and
on down.
now she's like, just what?
right. It's tough. Some
It's
artists
pure?
can like transcend that of like
Metamorph
You're
or
not
morph.
punk anymore. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You're not angsty. You've made money. Like sing-
We're all angsty.
I've had children. I need to settle this down.
Yeah, well, and, like, she's got such a good voice.
She does. I missed her. I was like, where have you been all my life?
Yeah.
Again.
Speaking of Joy Quota, if you want to really fill up the tank, I strongly recommend listening to all of her 2002 album, Let Go, on the drive home. I know how long it takes to get to your house. You'll get through most of it. It will.
I'll circle
it's the
around a
best.
couple times.
Oh, it's literally.
It's worth it.
I forget how it came into my life recently, but that's why.
no,
I
we
picked
listened
up.
to it when we were
Oh, that's
driving
right.
to the playground.
Yeah,
actually.
they made a like
Link-
a dance
link to the video
song
here.
out of it.
Is that the playground where I think I saw the video where you guys were sliding down that metal
Yes,
slide?
It's so sick.
So
Yeah.
here's the crazy part. When you guys are in it, it looked super long, and then like when you looked at it, I was like, what? It looked a lot shorter than
Oh, it's like
riding
it's
through
probably
it.
30.
Maybe the
35
angle or
feet
something?
Tall. It's
It's
huge.
pretty tall.
Wow.
And we went through it fast too. And it's like
I
warp
saw
speed to it.
It reminds me of the night. Oh my gosh! That reminds me of my son. How he's a beast. Fearless. But the night you guys fixed the ramp a little bit, and then we went down it, and like you went like a luge. You're like just cool running. You gotta build momentum to get that. I could never go over the hop, the end.
Yeah. Well, and for those who don't know what he's talking about, we made a slip and slide off of our roof with a jump into a kiddie pool.
For the barbecue, second annual barbecue.
Yeah, which there may or may not be a video for. I don't think we made any for that one, no.
We can show a clip at some point.
Yeah.
Link here. No,
But
sure.
yeah, so we invited Andrew and his son over, and his son just was the coolest, most confident
He
kid
scared
of all
me.
time.
Like before I knew he was coming down, because he asked me, you know, he's like, "Is it okay?" I was like, "Yeah, it's okay." And I figured he'd be like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3." No, he was down, like, but the look on his
He's
face.
like 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah. He was 5 at the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, little half Japanese
He
dude.
sent it.
Yes.
It was impressive how his confidence, the very first go, his confidence was higher
Yeah.
than anyone else.
Notice how you said the very first go.
Well, yeah, because it was really interesting
dropped
to
off after
watch.
the first time.
It was really interesting, like with full confidence and gusto, he like threw himself into the slide, and then as his little tiny arms like scooted past him and his butt hit the slip and slide, immediate regret. Like so quickly,
Nobody's regretted anything faster ever.
Yeah. Just, I've made a terrible choice. And just trying to grab anything he can to stop himself.
You see when he stood up after that, he's just like,
The best part is he didn't stop. Like, he was
No.
clearly terrified. And he's like, well, I should do that again. And then he'd climb up and just be terrified again and again.
Right, and just even climbing up the sketchy ladder onto the roof of our house for a 6-year-old is impressive.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine myself doing that as like in his age. I'm like, who are you?
Dude,
My offspring. I guess.
There were people that wouldn't even climb up, our age, that wouldn't even climb up on the
yeah, there were plenty of able-bodied adults who were like, I won't. Mm-mm.
He gave me courage to go up there. I was like, I can't let my son go. And then like, what? Simba, what? I had to go. I had to do it. It's like that a lot in life, though. With my son, you know, kids they remind you, I don't know, to take in all of life, you know, to find joy in everything. You're taking a shower, you're like, we gotta hurry up, and he's sitting there wagging his butt. He's like, ooh yeah, you can't catch me, and I'm like, and then you know you just kind of have fun.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, well, that's great. Showers now they're just boring. I'm like, where's my son? I don't have to chase a naked body around.
Dude, it's hard enough to shower with another adult. I can only imagine how difficult it is to shower
Oh my gosh.
with someone who actively is trying to avoid a shower.
Yes.
Why is that as kids, none of us wanted to bathe or shower? It's so weird, right?
You know, because it took a lot to accumulate the dirt, and like, you know, that's they don't have belongings. They have like we have possessions. Kids, they have like, look, I got this dirt and I like this dirt. I did a really cool thing for this. I earned this scar.
It's so weird, yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, it is. I don't know. Maybe they think, you know, hygiene. It's just a waste of time. Like I could be playing, but you got me.
You got me in here
Well,
cleaning.
and because
Cleaning.
usually it means like bedtime and
Yeah.
it's bedtime.
That is true. Everything that is associated with that.
Until you hit like 28, and then I feel like there's a very sharp turn where you're like, oh, bedtime? That's the best part of the
That
day.
is it right there. Is 8 o'clock yet? 9 o'clock?
Yeah, there's like a countdown just
Woo.
for bedtime.
I'm about to
Sunday
Pop-Tart this
nights.
bed.
Sunday nights
Yeah.
are the best bedtime ever. I'm like, if I can make it to 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm
I don't-
so excited.
Ooh, Sunday nights for me, that just spells dread. You know, that's when sleep becomes less joyful and more like it's a necessity.
Yeah.
You have to perform the next day, like work, school, whatever you got. On the weekends, it's like, yeah, go to sleep, wake up whenever. Unless you have plans, then still it's whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm just running. The traffic is, you know, as you're brushing your teeth, the traffic it sucks. Oh.
The best way to get out of that is just tell them you have diarrhea. It's the fastest way to be like, oh, I'm going to be late. Sorry, I've just had the squirts all morning. They're like, shut up. Do you even want to come into work today? Like,
No one wants
Joy
to do
Quota
with that.
advice, right?
yeah,
there.
no one's going to ask the next question, right? If you're like, oh, I'm not feeling well. What's wrong? It's like, I'm pooping my pants currently. Like, oh, God, click. Like, it's the quickest. It's not my joke, but it's the truth. Someone's.
Oh my
Set it forth.
gosh.
So to get away from that,
Tell us about your last diarrhea episode.
no.
Well, it was a Sunday because I didn't want to work on a Monday. No,
Taco Bell.
All your travels. Segue that into travel.
Yeah, there you go, 'cause
traveling.
I bet-
Oh, you know what? Okay, so here's a kind of a segue here that has to do with traveling and diarrhea. You're welcome, Gavin.
Oh, so happy that we could have worked that in.
So I spent 7 years in Japan, the best time of my life.
Except for this moment now.
Except for right now, of course. Of course. It was the best time. This is now the best time of my life. Obviously after my son being born.
Yeah.
I love you, my son. This one's for you. No. So
How weird is that like 10 years from now he might hear this and he's just like, my dad's so weird.
it's one of those time capsules. Yeah. But you guys ever do that in school?
Yeah, I'm honestly upset I've never gotten to like dig it up. I don't even
Go
I
right
know
now.
where
You'll be
it's
that
buried.
dude.
I do remember where it's buried. Part of me thinks it would be so funny to just go like dig holes around my old school until I find it.
How long has it been?
It was when I was in like the 3rd grade.
Oh,
So
well, then that's long enough. That's what?
That's-
20,
I feel like that counts.
That's a Joy
wait till
Quota
20 years.
session right there.
So that's like 2 more years. You'll be 28.
All I have to
Yeah.
say,
So that'll be 20 years, and then we should do it.
I wish you still had your long hair so that you could go within the bathrobe or something. Just
Yes.
start digging up like there is a strange man in our yard. No. Oh man.
Yeah, so you're in Japan
Yes,
for
I
7
am.
years.
I've been in Japan for 7 years. At this time, I was dating a Japanese girl. I was in Nagoya, so I lived in Okinawa, Japan for those 7 years. But I was traveling, going to see her. You get used to things you don't think that you're going to get used to in Japan, especially when it comes to food. Like I used to be a picky individual. I'm talking like if the food looked wrong, I was like, I am not touching that. So it's like hamburger helper reheated. You know how sometimes it just doesn't reheat right, gets rubbery
Yeah.
or hard and stuff. I would not like nowadays. I'm just like sustenance.
I don't know if sustenance is the right word to describe hamburger helper. Don't. I was raised on it, so I get it.
yeah, but like after all that, I was just like, I will try anything and everything. So I'm at a restaurant and there is literally raw chicken at this restaurant. And I know what you're thinking. Raw chicken. Who would do that? Who is me? Apparently. So I was like, okay, this looks like a what do they call a blank establishment? A legit establishment. It's on the menu. Like, how bad could this be? How bad could this be?
So you ordered it on purpose. You knew what you were getting into.
That's
Or
the
you were
worst
like-
part.
Or you were like, all this.
Oh no,
things.
no. There was
I'll
there
have
was
the
definitely
tree next to the goat.
not only was the menu in English,
Oh.
but I did order it. Like we had a conversation. I was like, "Ooh, raw chicken." She's like, "Yeah, raw chicken. They do that." I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, it's kind of good." I was like, "Sure." And I'm thinking sashimi, which is raw fish diced up. I'm like, can't be that bad. Maybe they prepare it differently, or excuse me, like some hams or something like that. It's cooked differently, like salted, and then they cook it that way, and then it's thinly sliced, and you're just like, oh, I forgot what it's called,
Like
but
with the
prosciutto
lime.
or whatever?
yeah, something like that, yeah. So I was like, I'm thinking that I'm hoping that it's something like that. So it comes out. Yes, there's a thigh, there's the liver, there's a heart.
What?
Yeah, and there was just diced up, and then there was this pumpkin sauce. I'm like, ooh, I'm fancy now.
Wow.
Yeah, that didn't last long. So I ate it, and I would not do it again. I didn't enjoy it myself, but the repercussions of that, oh my God. Have you ever
Oh no.
have you ever had to shit and vomit at the same time?
I don't know if.
I've heard stories of this. I have not
I've-
experienced it.
What a time.
Oh, I can only imagine.
What a time.
But at least you're in Japan, so like, At
They have the
least you're on
water
like
that
a
that shoots
sweet,
out,
like
maybe, or technology
like
toilet,
Transformers robot
Yeah,
toilet.
I've heard of this.
So I was in the dorms at this time, so none of that. It's just a standard toilet. Granted, the water pressure was sublime. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, there's no bidet that comes and tickles your butthole with fresh water and just says, "You're free now. Go enjoy your life." Nothing.
That's
Just
savage.
it was savage.
Were you back on the base when everything dropped?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because like, okay, so it took a while. That's what got me. Like it took a while for it to kick in. I think like a week, and then so I'm like, man, I got
Oh.
the flu or something.
You think it was a week? And that's how
A
long?
week later,
I
from
feel like-
eating raw chicken. I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't know if that's food poisoning.
So
No, like from the chicken.
no, they took stool samples. It was
Oh.
definitely salmonella. Like
That's so wild.
so they scienced it. Like so, but
I can't believe you.
I guess
you
the
got sick enough that
incubation-
You were like, someone needs to definitely check me out.
yes, I
Wow.
I couldn't go 10 feet from a bathroom. Like like my stomach was hurting. Like I wanted to throw up. Like when you throw up and puke at the same time. Wait, when you poop,
You guys, I just barfed up some.
double layered.
Yeah.
So when you poop and throw up at the same time, you know something is wrong. You're like, I've never done this before in my life. Like this is you can feel it. I had like the cold sweats.
Oh,
It was just horrible. So they're like, yeah, you know, that was the worst part. Trying to poop in this vad, whatever.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine.
Stool samples, never a good thing. You could probably cut that out of this whole thing. So,
We're
so
in it now.
yeah, it
I
was
mean-
bad. It was bad. It lasted a week or two for it to get out of my system. Yeah, no, like the whole diarrhea
That
thing. Like steadily,
sucks.
yes, I got better, but it was horrible. I remember when I thought I was better. I was like, I can hold this. You know, like I'm a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. I can pinch my sphincter
Yeah.
and just hold it for this movie. I'm good.
I'ma
I'm
lock it
good.
down.
Yeah, no. The only thing I locked down was that stall. Like
That's
I
crazy.
missed half the movie. And I never did that again. Eat raw chicken.
I thought you were gonna say go to the movies.
No, I've gone to the movies when I had to poop.
Um,
I've done better.
So I mean, obviously that was a wild experience that took a turn for the worse. I'm sure
It
you have
did.
tons of awesome stories from Japan of just like
Yes.
some super
Oh.
fun like peak moments over there. Because it's someplace I've always wanted to go. My stepsister lived there for a long time. Some of our BMX buddies have been there, and it just seems like the craziest culture. It seems like such a wonderful place to exist.
You would love it there. I mean,
I feel like I'd be a bit much for Japan.
no, not
Like, I'd be-
Uh,
Because they have like they're like so wonderfully respectful of one another's space that I don't think like me like I feel like I'd pop a lot of personal bubbles over there.
You'd be surprised. Okinawan culture is Americanized. You know what I mean? So they're used to things like that. But like, the culture down there, like they believe in the whole you help everyone else. You know, so you have old people just sweeping the streets. It's not their job. They just
Yeah.
do that. It's so beautiful. And you feel safe. Yes, there's still crime there, but you feel super safe. So you want to get lost. Like that's when you find the holes
That's
in
what
the
I've
walls.
heard.
That it's the best food that you in the mom and pop places. Like here, some mom and pop places are good, and some will give you salmonella. No, like some are just bad. But you always have to make that judgment call. But in Japan, it's always I don't know. I felt so carefree, and anywhere you went, it was beautiful. Just the rural, and like the vines everywhere, so green.
Yeah.
Some of the best times of my life in Japan, for sure.
Well, and I feel like I mean, I haven't been there, but I've been other places where mom and pop literally means
Mom and pop.
are literally cooking
Yes.
food and then like handing it to you. Where I've never found that exact thing in Denver, at least.
The
Some
mom and
other
pop. It
places.
started with mom and pop, and now it's a franchise or a chain,
Yeah,
right,
chain
yeah.
restaurant. No, in Japan, it's just like that. Like if their son or their daughter doesn't pick up the restaurant, they will close or they will hire someone else to take over. But like they're small. Like I found this restaurant where this guy he used to be a fisherman in Hawaii. you know, and he was telling me about his entire life. I wanted to do a vlog about it, you know, because that's when I was biking a lot. So you just bike and you can see everything going around. You're like, oh man, that looks like a good place. Let's stop there. I just wanted to vlog everything, interview the people, and trying to get their names out there, because like a lot of these places do go out of business because people just they don't know about it. But like this place, like he had his own stamp with his face on it. Like it was done up and it was so good, but he didn't really get a lot of business. But the stories that he would tell me, and granted, it was English, is what I'll say. So it's like half English, half Japanese, because I knew Japanese, but not everything, and he knew some English. So it's kind of weird how when you if you can't communicate with verbal communication, you find a way with gestures, like just like how any woman can talk down to you with just their eyes.
Yeah. Just get that look of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go piece together the last 15 minutes. I'm gonna go detective this and see where I went wrong.
I have done fucked up. No, it's exactly like that. So, and like when you want to communicate, like there's always a way. And that's another thing that I picked up when I was down there, you know. I've always moved around a lot, military brat, right? So grew up in Greece, England, and Japan as well, you know, until I finally moved to California. But like I just got a lot of culture in me. I saw a lot and picked up a little bit here and there, which, you know, kind of pieced together me, who I am.
Yeah.
So it's such an amazing time out there, I'm telling you.
Were you playing music while you were out there?
Yes. Oh gosh. Okay, so I did kind of have a band at that time.
What? In Japan?
So like it was a joke band, but we had a band. It was called Lavender Flamingos.
Lavender Flamingos.
Yeah, there's this there's this guy TJ Panya. He played the
Shout
most You know who you are, dude. He played the best guitar. Like he would just shred it, right? I'm just like, how do you do this? He's like, I don't know, man. It just, you know,
Sometimes the
sometimes
guitar
it
plays itself. I don't know why he's...
Exactly, and this other guy, James Black, with the drums, and like we just kind of fused together. Like there was other people who would just come in and help us out, but like I'd either be on the bass or just play like rhythm guitar, and it's so great when you know people enough that you don't really have to communicate; it just happens. So like you play a bass line or something like that, and then next you know. You know, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, doom, boom, 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 doom, doom, and then you know, like, yeah, whatever you just did, and then half the time we're like, man, I wish we recorded. The other times we did, and we're like, we should not have recorded that. But it was definitely good times. We played one set at a karaoke joint, and that was like. Yeah, I had it. Liquid courage is a real thing, you know. I was like, go. I was like, okay, let's do this, because you know, playing guitar, singing, and then like we kind of alternated and stuff. But it was a good time. I wish I had recordings of that. I don't.
Well, I feel like that raises up a good point of, I feel like in today's culture, we're all so quick to record stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I were just realizing we have no photos of us. We do all kinds of awesome stuff. We have all these like really peak moments, but we're just too busy being present to think like, oh, we should document this. And I feel like you're really good at making sure it gets documented.
Sometimes.
Like, you really have like this awesome picture/video journal of like your entire life. Versus
you.
I'm going to get to the end of my life and be like, man, I did the coolest stuff I'll never remember.
Take my word. You just had to take my word. It was
You guys,
exactly
I
like
promise
this.
I did cool stuff, yeah.
Well,
Stormy night.
and that's a shame because like even my parents were really good about like their giant VHS camcorder
Yeah. Oh,
recording a lot
man.
of stuff. So we've gone back and watched some of it of like them starting building their house in like 1988 and me just like 1 year old running around wreaking havoc trying to help build this house and like and then going up from there for like Christmases and birthdays and it's very select moments, but it is pretty cool to have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a video of his mom walking polar bear cubs on a leash.
Yeah, there's that. There's definitely that.
It's fascinating though. Like, you know, the human mind, it's flawed. So either we forget things or we start to manipulate memories. You know, like, oh, I thought it was like this, but like when you record things, it just brings everything back. You know, it brings people together too. I'll have to record more now that you mentioned it. Thanks.
Yeah. I feel like I wonder if there's like a bell curve of you've gone too far.
Oh, guaranteed,
Right?
yeah.
Like-
and I think most people have
Wait,
because you.
let me take a selfie.
Like, food. Next meal. It's like no one cares about what you ate today.
Well, and you always snap like 5 pictures when one will do. So it's like,
Yeah.
I do
And
that.
then you end up just deleting all of it because my phone's full. I need to record this next moment.
It's very true. It is very true. I would say that it is a good thing that you are in the moment, because sometimes people spend most of their lives trying to capture everything that they forget to enjoy life. And like, I mean, I think that's a big motto for me in my life. It's, you know, people like, oh, what do you picture yourself in the next 10 years and this and that? Happy. I mean,
Amen, dude.
you
That's
know,
sick.
and like, if you have a mentality like that, it really does not matter where you're at or what you do. You're in the right place at the right time because you're happy. And no matter when your life ends, you look back and you're just like, yeah, that's right, I lived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like we spend way too much time worrying about the time that isn't right now.
Mhm.
But you make a really valid point for like it needs to be a bell curve, like there is, and Dylan even being able to just go back, because I do have a poor memory. It'd be really clutch.
But you're really in the present. I've never met
What?
anyone. I said you're really.
Gotcha.
Aha.
Welcome back.
But no, I've never met anyone quite like you, Gavin. You're definitely, whenever something is going on, you're there, and you're always thinking about people. A lot of times, people are like, "Oh yeah, let's start thinking about the event or thinking about their own problems and stuff." No, you're like, "Hey man, are you okay?" It's like, "What do you mean, am I okay?" Like, you're not looking like yourself. You're acting a little different. You're acting different. And it's like, what? I'm not okay. You know, you make people realize some things. So
Yeah,
I appreciate you
just
for that.
create existential crisis wherever I go. That's,
You there? You there? Yes. You look like you're having a midlife crisis. I can help you out with that.
no, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Dylan, you too.
Oh,
No, I'm serious. Like this whole thing. I watch your guys' videos, like everything that you guys have accomplished and that you do. Like I don't want to say thrill seekers. It's just you live life, and you're like, you know what? What's the next adventure? Where's it gonna take us? Because I don't want to be afraid of life, you know. And like by doing that and by doing these amazing feats, you know, bending the rules.
what?
Never.
That you guys, like, you remain kids with an adult mentality. I don't know. You're matured kids, and
Yeah.
it's very important to do that. It is, like, people just because then you start hating life if you just, you know, like the adults who just know how to adult, and that's it. They get a routine, and that is their life. They don't know how to do anything else. And anytime the routine is like they get fired from their career, because I'm not going to say job, but their career, they're like, what do I do? That's when you get midlife crisis or this and that. Or when they're like, you know what? I don't actually like what I do. Midlife crisis. But you guys are like, we have a crisis every day. Like, am I going to survive through this? Like,
Yeah, I think there's something to be said. Like, my entire life's goal is to just become a 6-year-old kid again, playing on a slip and slide off of a roof, right? Like, I look at kids and I truly think we almost devolve as we get older. Like, they have it so figured out. Like, kids are so passionate.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they love. They know what they don't like.
Preach.
They're really, really 100% committed to all of their ideas, right? Like, even if it's a terrible idea, like, no one is committed to even, like, a phone call anymore, right? Like, hey, I just called you. Why didn't you pick up? I just would rather text. Like, oh, you're the worst, right? Like,
I'd rather not.
yeah, right? So, like, I feel like kids experience joy joy to me is just being passionate about whatever you're doing, right? Like joy isn't necessarily happy or anything so constricting. It's just like you can be joyful even when you're going through rough stuff or even when you're kind of sad. Like you're living in a place of joy because you're genuinely passionate about what's going on. And kids are such a good example of that. Like your son was just like, yeah, why wouldn't I go down the slide? Like adults, we don't have that. And some of that's good, right? Like you have to learn how to like keep yourself alive. But at the same time, I think we invent a lot of rules for ourselves as we get older versus as a kid, we just don't bother.
Right, because it shouldn't be scary to go down a slide or
Yeah.
do the thing that you're afraid of. Whatever
It was
is.
perfectly safe, to be honest. It literally was perfectly safe. Like the only thing stopping me was me, right?
Yeah, perfect example, right? Like your son's literally half you and he didn't even blink. And then you're like, you guys, is this good? And we're like, yeah, I just did it. Didn't you see it? And it's like, I know, but this is
But is it
the
good?
dumbest idea. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned passion. Um, I think it is very, very important to pursue your passions and be okay if your passions change. We've been taught that like change is bad, right? You know, whenever like big change happens, more often than not, people are like, "Oh God, what am I gonna do?" They're crisis mode, right? They anxiety, worry, they panic. But I know some people who they've gone to school for so long, found out that it's not their major. You know, like this is not what I want to do for the
Yeah.
rest of my life. You know, so they change, and then it was like a real crisis for them. And then like later they hit the ground running, found out something that they want to do, but like that shift. But like it should be an easy transition. Like, look, I'm not passionate about that, so let me go. Like, life doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And like you should be more afraid of wasting your life than doing something that you love or enjoy.
Yeah, I think Dylan's the perfect example of that, for sure.
Me. Well, I try to be. I don't know if I would say perfect.
Of going for your passion?
Yeah, of
Okay,
just like,
okay, just making sure we're
like-
giving the right example.
I can't go too far into it, but we just had a conversation specifically where like, I don't know of another person that would have taken the specific course of action that Dylan did. And he literally just wouldn't stop talking about it. He's like, no, dude, like I'm not going to live my life doing anything other than what I'm committed to, what I'm passionate about. These are my values. These are my principles. I'm not bending on that. Like, and in a lot of ways, it's almost unreasonable, but it's such a good example of what you're talking about of just staying passionate despite all the different changes. Just like
Yeah.
if Dylan's not interested, I promise you he won't be doing it for long.
For very long.
I've watched him, like he gets genuinely antsy if we're just doing something small for like 30 minutes and he's not into it. He's like, you can literally see his body start getting like jumpy. He's like, I need to go do something else because I cannot be here. I'm not passionate about it.
But yeah, just think about the product that comes out of doing something that you're not passionate about. Mediocre, right? Even people who are OCD, things need to be perfect, and it's never going to be as perfect as they want or up to the potential because they're just not passionate. They're not going to put their all into that one thing or a couple things or everything, whatever they're passionate about life. Love everything.
Because
Absolutely.
what's the point? Like,
What
if
is
you're not
the point?
If you're not having
Yes.
fun, then I don't see a point of doing it. Honestly, like,
There is something for everyone. So it's kind of like, right, what's the point? This is someone else's calling. Let them have it.
Yeah, if I'm not supposed to be doing it, I'm not going to beat myself up for not doing it. I know someone who constantly sees value in all these different types of careers and passions and skills, and then they look at themselves and they're like, oh, why am I not? It literally came up while we were eating dinner one day. They were like, why am I not doing that? And she points at the TV, and it's Ken Block doing crazy drifts, like 100 miles an hour up and down the banked corner of a speedway. And I was like, because you haven't been racing for 30 years? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And she's like, I should be doing something like that with my life. And I was like, you don't like going fast. You've told me this specifically multiple times. Why are you beating yourself up for not being a world-class drift racer? Like, do something that you're actually excited about and love the fact that you're doing that instead of beating yourself up. You're not doing something that's maybe more perceived as valuable, right? Because a lot of people chase what,
Perception.
like, oh, I'm going to be a pharmacist because I'm going to make a bunch of money, but then you don't care at all about what you're doing, but you're doing something that you think others will perceive as valuable.
They will respect me if
Yeah.
I do this. You know, a lot of people are driven by other people's perception of you. Like, really, and you're like, you are you. Like, the only thing that matters is your perception of yourself. But like, what do you think about yourself? I don't know. There's your problem.
Yeah.
It is definitely easier said than done.
No, it is. It is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I care about what other people think, but like, it took me a long time to be comfortable in my skin. You know, to where like, I know that people won't approve of everything that I do, but like, do you really care about what they approve because they're not you? Like, you know, some things that we've been taught.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to be in their shoes? No. If not, then why listen to what they have to say about you? You know?
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for like, you don't have to not care what other people think, right? You still need to like be kind and
Conscientious,
courteous,
yeah.
and there's a lot of just social responsibility in noticing how you come off to other people, how you're affecting other people. Like, you bathe regularly so that when you sit next to someone, they're not like, oh, what the heck, you know? But I think the key is not forgetting, like saying just screw whatever anyone thinks of me doesn't matter. I think it's whatever anyone thinks of me, it doesn't change what I think of me.
There you go. That's a better way said. Thank you. Just whack me.
No, I think about that a lot, for sure. Especially as someone who I see myself as a bit of a show pony. I love seeing
You're
what
a
other
peacock.
people think of
Gotta-
me. Yeah,
gotta let you fly.
Gotta let me fly, Captain. Doesn't make sense. They don't fly. Yeah, I spend time doing things that I know will get certain reactions from people just because I genuinely like the attention, if I'm being honest. But also, even if I didn't get the reaction I was hoping for or something like that, like, it doesn't change how I see myself.
It's very
or at
important.
least not often. Sometimes it's still.
It's always hard.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending battle, you know. And then there's some people you let in to where like they're your whole world, so their perception of you
Yeah.
is everything.
You can't help it.
You can't.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. So I know we keep going back to music. Something that had struck me
music.
as
Let's
a
go
cool thought is, what is the first memory you have of wanting to play music?
Oh
to
my
create music?
God!
I
You
feel
had
like
to-
that's got to be a cool moment. Or it's like just the most boring.
No,
But either
no.
way,
Like,
that's awesome.
I think ever since I was a kid, I've always been fond of music, listening to music. I'm like, I want to be that guy playing that guitar. Or I don't know. It wasn't enough to experience music. I needed to play it. You know, I don't know if you've ever, like, you know, watching someone do something. It just wasn't enough. You were pulled to. You're like, I want that instrument in my hands. Like, I want to make something like that, and that has always been a thing for me. So my dad he had his own band. He played with the church and stuff. He played the congas. You know, he's like,
Sick.
and like, I don't know if I got it from him. Honestly, like, looking back, I don't remember him playing as much. I know, like, we've had times to where, like, we'd all play, and I'd use the, I forgot what they're called.
Maracas?
No. The sticks. The sticks that you,
Oh, like the poor man's cowbell?
sure, like a poor man's cowbell.
Different sound.
Yeah.
I think there could be both in the band. There's room for both.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I'd do that. Like, I've just always been intrigued by music, so I've always had rhythm and stuff like that because I didn't hear it, I felt it. So like for the longest time, I've always asked my mom, "Hey, you know, give me a guitar." That just seemed like the easiest thing to play. Or like, I don't know, the music that I was listening to most had guitar in it. I was like, I just want to play. seemed right. I played the flute whenever I was in elementary school. Did not like that. I don't think
Flute
I'm
or
a
recorder.
Flute.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we had
Some
recorders
Yaz
too,
flute.
but yeah, I had a flute, and like not that I hated it, it just didn't feel right. Piano, love to mess around with that, but like the guitar in my hands, it was like that was the beginning. So after years of asking for it, my mom's like, "Well, you're not just trying to be like the average Joe, not just like, oh, guitars are cool, so you want one." No, she was like, "You actually want one," so she got me one, and within 10 minutes, I was playing. Oh man, just a couple tunes. She's like, "How'd you learn how to play that?" I was like, "I don't know, just listen." Just made sense to me.
That's crazy.
Here's a note. There's the note. Where's the next note? And then you just kind of figure it out. So, like for me, my mind just worked that way. My hands just kind of. After a while, you get to feel the guitar, and it just kind of. It moved itself, and you hear what you wanted to hear. Of course, you'll make mistakes, but like you're just like, "Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah," and you start to jam and stuff. And the biggest thing too was it was a bonding thing for my brother and I. So, like I love my family, love my friends, but my brother and my dad, those are two people. Like if they were to die or anything like that, like I would be 100% devastated just because I get a lot of my character from them. Like I look up to them. Not saying that they are perfect, but like the parts of them that I do look up to, like my brother has this temperament. Not always, he had a temper way back when, but like he's the calmest and the kindest man you will ever meet. And I'm just like, bro, how? Like he's got 4 kids and patience.
That's how.
It's right. It is insane. But not only that, but like the poetry of him and everything. But like so I would play, he would sing, and like
Oh, cool.
nonstop and like no cues. Like I remember like the first song I was just trying to make up, and then my brother just came in. He's like, okay. So he just started singing. I was like, all right. And like we nodded at each other, and then we just changed the course, which was whatever. And he just like, that's the tone I want. There we go.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so you picked up a guitar for the first time, and within 10 minutes we're playing music, and you think you're not good enough to play in a band or live?
So
That was your exact words.
Yes. Yeah. So what I mean
I'm
is,
confused
like,
by
I can record because I can make music, but perfection in playing live, not skipping a beat, not making those mistakes, like that's a lot of pressure for me. I guess more fear than anything. So like I don't think that I'm good enough to play, because some people, they practice guitar every day in and day out. I don't. It's a passion, and it's just something. Like, it's a hobby more than a lifestyle type thing. Because they're like, "What do you got? New Ibanez, this and that." I'm like, I have no idea. It's a guitar. It looks good. It sounds
It has
great.
6 strings.
Ex-
One of them's fat, and then they
exactly.
get less fat.
So I'm not enthralled in a particular instrument. It's just music itself.
So what music are you just like really vibing with right now? Like
I'm telling. Okay, so it's these 3 genres that are interchangeable, right? So indie, pop, and dance. And when you get like indie pop or indie dance or dance pop, or
dance pop is speaking to my soul in this season of life.
pop, dap dap na boo dap.
Yeah.
No, but like I don't know. It's just the music I tend to listen to. It's just really upbeat. Like even. And then you get, the emotions where you're sad, so you'll listen to some Sigur Rós or like Postal Service. That's
Whoa. That'll get some tears going for sure.
right. Oh, like, but depending on what mood you're in, like maybe that can be some inspiring. You're like, yeah, I'm writing, yeah, whatever. So that tempo and that beat, it just really inspires me, like to go out on the drive sometimes, like indie music. When I'm out on the drive, sometimes I'm like, yeah, looking around, I'm like, yeah, man, this is great. And not that I'm high or anything like that, but like it changes my perspective on life. It keeps me moving. It reminds me that there is joy, like especially like when I'm down, like people have those songs that they listen to right before they go out, right? They're like, all right, time to get pumped, Cardi B. No, whatever it is to whomever.
Oh, for sure. We have a tradition of almost every concert we go to karaokeing a few Blink-182 songs before we leave the house.
There you go.
Yeah, throw like the karaoke version on YouTube, and then we all just like burn 1,500 calories before we go to a concert from just jumping around the living room.
So you're telling me you sound like Shaggy before you leave,
Dude.
Oh boy, guys.
Oh, from Scooby Doo. I was picturing the artist. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where you're going with that either.
No.
I'm sorry.
That's fantastic.
We were talking about music.
Yeah, it is so crazy how music can really affect your mood, right?
Yeah.
And I think what's even crazier is most people probably don't choose their music. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, they just kind of listen to whatever versus, like, if I know that I'm in a funk, I specifically make myself listen to something that'll get me out of the funk. Even if at first I'm like, why am I listening to this happy song? I'm so bummed right now. Like, I know it'll just naturally kind of pull me out. Does that make sense?
No,
versus,
yeah.
Most people just, like, listen to whatever. I don't know. I feel like that's probably a generalization. I made that up. I feel like that's probably not true.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I would assume.
I mean,
most
like,
people
I
have a
think.
song that cheers them up.
So you get your music gurus, who's like they have a specific song that takes them to a certain place, and then you have other people who just listen to music that like no direction. They're just like, all right, let's play the radio. What's on today? Or let's make a station from this one song. It's like, all right, like that's kind of how I do. I just always try and listen to new music and stuff, and I have my repeats for a while, and then I move on, or I use those repeats to create a station, and it's like I'm listening to that song but a different style.
Yeah.
But like I don't have like one song I go to whenever I'm feeling down. Maybe a genre, or maybe just like this. I don't know, not even a playlist. It just sometimes music just finds me, and it's like, oh wow, that's what I needed. And if it's not that, I'm like, next. Right.
And we're done.
Just keep cycling. But like I do have friends, and I know people who they have their songs. They can name them my name. They're like, oh yeah, this is my sad playlist. Like whenever I need to go brooding and I need to write poetry and just be to be or not to be.
Yeah.
That is the question. They listen to that, or they're like, I'm about to go out, because that's real talk. They'll listen to this song or this playlist.
You're looking at two people who've never vertically clapped at anyone ever. I can promise you that.
You must try it. It's like it feels good sometimes.
We did. Allie brought back the alligator thing not that long ago. Do you remember that?
No. Are you talking about
Were you
the
not there
baby
for
shark
that?
thing?
Baby
Oh,
shark?
Baby shark.
Okay.
Alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's different than like clapping at someone. I'm somewhat in the popular culture.
So I mean, it's just a thing people do. They can't help it, I don't think. But like, or it's
like
it's
a way
cue.
of talking with your hands.
It's a cue.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so you don't think I'm serious? Let's think again.
Yeah.
Gets your attention. Like, why are you clapping? What's this?
That's awesome. What? So, because music was so big for you and your dad growing up, do you have anything music related that you share with your son, or is he so young that like it's hard to merge? Like, there's a comedian who has a joke. He tried to play Black Sabbath, which is what he liked for his infant. He's like, turns out babies hate Black Sabbath.
Yeah, even at a young age, I would play him songs. I would sing to him, and he's like, I want to be just like Daddy. I was like, let's make sure it's something you want to do. I got him a ukulele because that was cheaper than a guitar. Like a small size guitar was still upwards of $300. I'm like, why? This is for a child.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like a ukulele is so much easier to learn to see if they like it. Like they actually progress quicker. That's something I wish I had done, is learn ukulele first, just because like you can immediately play every chord in like 4 hours.
For it's so small, it fits in your big hands. No, so I got him a ukulele, and then we started playing here and there. He is not good at it, and his attention span is he's a kid, but like I learned to let him play with it, just like do whatever, because like that's what I did. That's how I learned, and lo and behold, he's on the piano, not even playing the ukulele. He's on the piano. I'm playing a song. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, Daddy, look, and he's playing the song. I was like, oh my God. So I helped him kind of finish it. And like, we're just listening, jamming to this song and, playing like the bass portion of it. Like, however simple that is, that's just amazing that a child, like just a mind, period, can just figure that out on piano. Like, it's the moment he stopped clowning around and it's like, I decided to play those notes. And he figured it
Yeah.
out. And it was, oh, I was weeping inside. I was like, ah, I'm so proud of you, my son.
What about electronic at all? Have you is there? I'm sure there's iPad apps because I know he loved when he was over here. We were playing
Oh my
that
gosh.
that iPad game where it's like you take a video of yourself like jumping back and then you put in an explosion and like
That
shooting
was
Mega Man
awesome.
out of your
Yeah, it's like a
Like-
Dragon Ball Z app, right?
yeah.
Or like it's not allowed to be labeled that, but
Well,
that's
yeah,
exactly
whatever.
what it is.
But like so, with kids gravitating towards iPads and all this, like, have you experimented with electronic music through that?
Minecraft.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
Minecraft.
it. He's on that iPad. He's on Minecraft. Like earlier on, when I first introduced him to an iPad, he's like, "Oh wow, it's a big iPhone. What
Yeah.
what oodles and doodles of fun I can have?" And I had all these educational stuff on there, and I made the mistake of downloading Minecraft, thinking, well, I mean, like I guess
Because they
creativity.
kind of learn how to like code, right?
Well, I don't.
And, like-
I wouldn't say code. I think more creativity because it's building blocks. You have to learn to take elements and create these things with it, or you have to build X, Y, and Z shapes. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
We have literally no idea.
Yeah, I've never played, so I don't know.
I've seen it once played.
It's
for
it's
5
an
minutes.
open sandbox game. That's what they call those, where you can build anything or roam anywhere type thing. So, to think about that as a young, it's like Legos, okay? As a young
digital
kid, a
Legos.
digital Legos. So with him being able to do that, like he can make his imagination into a real thing, which is important. It's just I was like, what about other stuff? He just got so fascinated with that, and a lot of kids are. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn with the Minecraft era.
Yeah. Oh, it seems tough because I see how easy it is to like. I just need to do the dishes. iPad, right? Like I see how good of a tool it is for freeing up enough space that you can get what you need to do finished. Like I feel like I would just be so drawn to taking that, like. And not monitor. I feel like you do a pretty good job. The few times I've been with you and your son, like he gets some time on it, but even then, like you force him to hang out with everybody and spend time like being a human as well as like, okay, man, like
Oh my gosh.
go burn off some creative energy, but it's not just.
So I don't think any father thinks that they're doing a good job. It's just one of those things, oh, you see these perfect families and you wish you can be the perfect father. And no matter how long they are in the iPad, they're like, it's too long, it must be.
Yeah.
Yes, the balance, it's very hard, and you work, you have to clean up, you have to get things ready, you get tired. Sometimes you're like, hey, why don't you do this while I do that? You're in the car. It's kind of like being comfortable with the silence.
Oh, I wouldn't be good at that.
I know.
Case in point, right? No, a lot of times as a mental health technician, like they teach you, like, hey, whenever you're talking to people, it is okay. Let them be let there be silence. Let them come up with their own answer because it is hard. There's silence. You want to give them the answer, help them out, but like that's how people grow. In that silence, they come into themselves, are able to think about what you had said or what you asked, and allows them to come up with an answer, right? In any case, silence is good, and that's kind of boredom. Boredom is also good. It's where I'm trying to go to because you would never dream to be an astronaut or look outside as a whooshing, like the trees, as they whoosh by or pass by, you're like, man, I'm in a race car. You won't have those thoughts if you're stuck on an iPad or constantly being stimulated. You know what I mean? You won't know how to stimulate yourself. That sounds really bad.
Yeah, no,
Mentally.
but I know what you mean because I think boredom is sincerely underrated.
It's the key to creativity.
Like boredom is what leads to the coolest stuff.
Yes.
Where you're like, man, I'm so bored. It's either I can stay in this terrible place of boredom or I can come up with something better. And that's what's led to
Yep.
so many cool things.
And
Like, I'm sure almost every technological advance started with a kid that spent a lot of time as like just bored as possible. Like,
I mean,
you
that-
guys were
that's
out
for
in the
sure.
woods, or not the woods, but like
Right, yeah, that's
the
for sure.
sticks.
Even our friendship is like based on riding bikes from like because I didn't like TV that much, so we'd watch something. Or we weren't allowed. I don't remember. We probably were only allowed like one
Yeah.
show a day or something.
Yeah, I can
So-
picture
and
your
then,
mom.
Yeah, we'd like, get out of the house and then start digging bike jumps, and just went crazy with that, and that is what brought us together.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I remember I was bored one day, and so I just casually asked my dad for the nail gun while he wasn't paying attention. I was like maybe 13, and Party Dave had some questionable but effective methods of parenting, and he just like he didn't ask what I was doing. He didn't try and he was just like, "What do you do?" I'm building something." Okay, well it's there, and then. I made a fort exclusively of nails. I think by the time I was done having fun with the nail gun, there was no wood to be seen. It was just nail heads everywhere. Because, like, I was just boom, 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 just enjoying myself
Skadoosh.
with the scraps of our house that we were remodeling. And he just comes back and there's this, like, real janky, horrible... it was janky, but it was, like... well thought out. You could tell that I tried, right? Like I made a raised floor. I stole the extra carpet and the carpet padding and made like beats together like a flooring. And I stole some plexiglass to make a couple windows.
That
and
is
like,
so you.
There was some extra shingles laying around, so I made like a real roof with shingles on
Was
it.
that the one that was in the front yard?
The backyard, yeah, that like real janky thing where my half pipe eventually ended up.
I don't know if I remember that one. I remember wasn't there one in the front yard?
No, there's
No?
Oh, the guy who my dad eventually rented the house to made like a really legit tree fort in the front yard.
Wait,
And then we saw that one day when my dad sold the house.
how long have you guys known each other?
It's 10 years?
But it's just like you grew up here
Probably
in
more.
Colorado. Is that why?
Yeah, we
Okay,
both
so
did.
you're
10, 12,
okay.
yeah.
See, move around so much, you forget like people have been in one location for so long, so they can go to their home. Like I'm just like, you guys were like at the same place. Now you're here. Like, wow, this is wild. No,
Yeah, no mas. Though
no
one
mas.
day it'd be cool to go buy that spot because it's a really cool piece of land.
yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
like, but yeah, I mean, being bored led to this crazy fort that was such a huge part of my entire teenage years. Like, I think we still used that all the way till I was like probably 16, 17. Probably used it for like 4 or 5 years regularly, like airsoft battles, sleepovers, you name it. We would do we made like a video project for the Iliad, and that was
That's awesome.
one of the like castles that needed to be stormed and like
So,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
was before my time. I don't recall any of that. I was not a part of.
No, yeah, that was
any of
before
this.
I met the Pfaffel. But
It's insane. The blanket forts and everything like that.
we made one the other day.
What
We watched a movie at our friend JT and Kim's house, and Kim,
pictures or it didn't
the
happen?
delightful human being that she is, she was like, "Let's make a blanket fort," and I was like, "Let's keep coming up with badass ideas like that."
Let's.
Yeah, it was
Let's.
awesome.
Yeah, but I definitely think it's something that parents do that they have to, that they something that parents do deal with, like the balance. They like, oh my God, I'm a bad parent because of the boredom. Like, is it bad for me to let my kid be bored? Times have changed.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want to like rescue them instead of just, if I let them be bored for a little bit, they'll come up with something so crazy.
It's a magical.
Yeah.
No magic here. No joking. Just TV dinners and no joking. I went dark for a second.
If that's as dark as you go as a parent, I think you're all right.
Oh, I got dad jokes. Trust me, they go.
What's your favorite dad joke?
All right, here we go. So my son was cold one day. He just kept coming to me. He's like, "Dad, I'm cold." I'm like, "All right, so just put a jacket on. Put another shirt on." He comes up to me, "Dad, I'm cold." I'm like, "All right, son. Try going upstairs. He gravitates up. Do something. Stay in your room. Get under your covers." Finally came up to one more time. "Dad, I'm cold," and I was fed up. I was like, "Son, go stand in the corner." He's like, "Dad, why?" I said, "Because it's always 90 degrees in the corner."
Oh, what? Oh, that's amazing.
When I heard that one, I was like, "Oh." And there's always like the little ones like, "Dad, I'm hungry." "Hi, hungry." Those little.
Yeah. That's just for you. That's
Yeah,
just
that-
like a
yeah,
quick
that-
little moment of like,
I think most of the dad jokes are just for the dads.
yeah, anyone that tells a dad joke is the only person laughing, and they're laughing before they tell the dad joke, right? 'Cause
I just did that.
Yeah, because it's a joke. It's a joke of being like, you're all gonna hate this. I can't wait. Right? It's like it's a joke just for you of like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. I'm so excited. Yeah. Well,
I got one.
all right.
Oh,
Yes, I'm so excited. Papa Full.
Yeah.
We used to call him that because he was like the mature grown up of our.
Papa
How,
Fall.
how does a penguin build its house?
How?
Oh, hold on. I love these. I got nothing.
Dad jokes aren't meant to be thought about.
Yeah, you thought way too long.
I know.
Now that
Sometimes.
it's over. It glues it together.
Oh, dang it.
Oh my
I knew it was igloo something. Oh, that's the best.
That is the play on words alone. I love it.
That's igloos it together. That's amazing.
Oh man.
So speaking of silly little things like that, we like to kind of end on just the same note, just kind of like a fun little place to wrap it all in
yeah.
a little ribbon. What is, when you think of the word joy and you picture, like, where was, you just think of like, man, that was the moment of like, I really experienced like the most joy I've ever, and it doesn't have to be any like crazy story. Like it could literally be like, I was chasing my friend through a field and I was just like, wow, this is the best I've ever been. Yeah. Yeah.
I as a father, I feel really bad not saying that it's, my son's birth. The moment they
I feel like
handed me
there's
Simba.
so much going on in that moment.
it's a
You
wet
probably
Did you actually do that?
I'm for
call
sure
it,
doing that.
Simba.
Yeah. I'm for sure. I say that now. No,
Mm.
Ellie'd probably let me get away with it.
You do it. I think you do it even if she said no. You'd be like, "Don't do it. Don't
She'll
do
take
it."
a nap at some point.
I know, right?
Oh yeah. I'll like stand on the edge of the hospital bed to pretend like the cliff. Anyways, continue.
No, it's great. If I like thinking immediately right now, joy, like pure joy. There's a show I went to actually. It's kind of stupid to say. I feel like it, but I think it was Slow Magic or Strange Magic. I think it's Slow Magic.
You experienced so much joy, your brain turned off.
But like going to that show, this guy he's got pre-recorded tracks and everything, but live he plays the drums. Doom, 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 doom. It's just literally two drums. I forgot what they're called, right? But
Little hi-hats right
not hi hats, but
snare drums.
toms or something like that.
yeah,
Probably
yeah.
toms.
Mhm.
So he's got two drums and he's just playing to the music and like. I don't know, at that moment, it was just so beautiful, you know what I mean? And like the energy of the crowd, oh my God, you felt everything. Like you weren't listening to music, you were the music, right? So you're just dancing with it. And I literally lost myself and I was just like closing my eyes and, like the light show and everything. It was in that moment, it just kind of sparked something in me. It reminded me like, man, this is it. This is life. Like life can be joyous like this every day. If you just pursue what you want or what your passion is, like this is it. And you always know. You can't say like, I don't know what my passion is. Like, go find it. Because like once you hit it, oh, you're going to feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, all of a sudden like, it's like lightning. You're like, oh, there it is. I'm real pumped about this.
Exactly. It was insane. But like, I think that probably the biggest, if not the most recent time that I felt an overwhelming joy to where like I just couldn't contain myself. You know, I was talking about it for days. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was a kid again.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Right again. No, I'm kidding. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
This has been an absolute treat. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
that,
Thank you for having me.
That's awesome.
we'd love to have you again. And man, I'd love to hear some of your music. If you sent us some of that, that would make my day.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I can do that.
Dude, I'll just tell it to everyone I know and just won't blow you up, dude, so that you have to go play a live performance. Get over that fear.
Yes. Yeah.
I say you do one show butt naked, and then
the rest
of
is
them
downhill.
just like one real
Oh my
avant-garde performance piece, and then you'll never have stage fright ever again.
You know what they say, joy is on the other side of fear. So, all right, sure. I just got to find a nice piece for you to play, a short one, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Heck yeah. Well, boom. I like it.
There.
You happy?
And that's how the cookie crumbles. Am I happy? Ecstatic? Yes, I am definitely happy.
Dylan, you happy where we're at?
I'm happy. Yeah.
I'm not feeling it, man. No, I'm kidding. I'm super pumped. This is awesome.
He just needs a hug. That's what
yeah,
it is.
he doesn't.
A warm embrace.
Perfect.
Yeah. Dude.
All right, guys. It was a pleasure. Thank you. And the audience, when you do hear this, good night.
Take a left. I hope that works.
Take a look. You Siri now?
Someone's in their car. Yeah, it just lines up perfectly. Right? It's not my joke. It's a comedian's joke where he just gives a series of directions like,
Jesus, take the wheel.
one of these, someone's going to listen to this and it'll work so perfectly. And they're going to be like, what the fuck?
This was meant for me, man.
Yeah.
For me.